What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. My name is Jansen Smith if you're new to the channel, and I'm passionate about teaching the very best tips, tricks and tutorials for Amazon FBA. So in this video I'm going to be talking about the importance of samples, why you should get them, where you can get them from, and most importantly of all, how you can get them incredibly cheaply. My experience shows that samples can be really expensive, so in this video I'm going to teach you guys exactly how you can get them at huge discounts and sometimes even for free. So if you enjoy this video or anything else on the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could show your support by pressing that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell. And if you've got any questions, you can post them down below or come and join me in the Amazon FBA Smashers group on Facebook, where I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have to do with Amazon FBA. Let's get started. Right, so if you found a product that you think could be worth investigating further for Amazon FBA, you're going to need to order a sample. Now, some people often ask me and say, what's the point in getting samples? Why can't I just do the main order and just get it shipped to Amazon? The pictures look great, etc. Guys, you need to get samples. You can't spend thousands of pounds and order, thousands worth of units without actually inspecting the product and checking to make sure that it all stacks up. So there are a number of reasons for why you should be looking to get a sample. First of all, you want to make sure that the product is actually as described and that it's fit for purpose. You want to make sure that the product you've ordered from the supplier you've chosen is high quality and durable. It's not going to just disintegrate when it arrives or after a bit of usage or anything like that. You want to make sure that what you're selling is actually a good product. You want to make sure that the supplier that you're going to use is actually good and can make a good product. And you want to look for opportunities, right? So you want to make sure that there's nothing immediately obvious about the product that can be fixed or improved or anything like that. So for example, when I ordered a sample for my last product, it came, and when I kind of had a bit of a play with it, I noticed that there was something that didn't really kind of feel that robust about it. So I sent a message to my supplier and said, is there any way that we could make this part of the product a bit sturdier? And they came back and said, that's absolutely fine, no problem at all. So what I've kind of done there is I've avoided the possibility of a customer getting the product, thinking the same thing, and then giving me a 1-star. And something else that's really important about why you should order samples is you want to make sure that you actually believe in the product when it's actually in your hands. And that's something that you're not going to be able to do just from seeing pictures and videos online. So for example, when I ordered my first product, I saw the pictures and I thought, yeah, that looks okay, I'll get the sample in. And when the sample arrived, I was blown away. I thought, this looks really good, it looks really sleek, I'm really happy. And that's something that I wouldn't have been able to do had I not ordered a sample. So one of the main reasons about ordering a sample is that you kind of open it and you get really excited about it as though it's Christmas morning, and you think, wow, this product is brilliant. I'm going to be able to put my brand on it, have an amazing listing, and absolutely smash it on Amazon. Okay, so how do you get samples and who should you get them from? So when you found your product, the first thing that you want to do is you want to hop on over to Alibaba and you want to try and message as many suppliers as possible. Now the reason that you do this is so that further down the line, if you do decide to do the product, it gives you a better positioning when it comes to negotiating, because you'll have a wide variety of prices, hopefully, or you'll have a number of suppliers that are giving you different prices, and then you can kind of get a sense of what price to pay. You also want to be able to judge who are the best suppliers to get your product from. Now, some suppliers on Alibaba aren't the best at communicating, their English isn't great, and they don't really give you a great amount of confidence. Those are the ones that you want to avoid. So out of all the suppliers that you message on Alibaba, what you want to do is kind of judge which suppliers you think are the best at communicating, the best at replying, and the most responsive to you, which have got the best English, and which to you kind of gives you the most confidence. Because at the end of the day, guys, you're going to be sending these suppliers quite a bit of money, so you want to make sure that you're actually confident in these companies and that they are who they say they are. So after you've messaged, say, 10 or so suppliers on Alibaba, what you want to do is narrow that down to probably 2 or 3 different suppliers who you can order a sample from. Now, the way that you narrow it down is you have to kind of use your own judgment. So you're going to have to think which suppliers were the most responsive and communicative, which suppliers had the best level of English, and which suppliers seemed to give you the most support. So which suppliers kind of said, yes, we can do this, or we can help you with this, we can provide box art. All those things, you kind of need to put them all together and think, which of these gives me the most confidence out of all the suppliers that I've messaged. So let's say that you've messaged 10 or so suppliers. You need to narrow that down to 3, 2 or 3 I'd say, and those are the ones that I would say you should get your sample from. Now, the reason that you want to order more than one sample is you want to be able to actually get a good idea for the level of quality that's on offer. So if you just order one sample and it comes and you think, yeah, it's okay, then you'll never actually know if another supplier was able to offer slightly higher level of quality, for example. And in addition to that, it also helps you further down the line when you come to kind of negotiate. If you've only got one supplier that you've got a sample from, and they're not willing to budge on the price, you can't negotiate with them whatsoever, then that means that you might actually have to start negotiating with another supplier whose sample or whose product you've not seen, which can obviously be quite risky. So when you're ordering samples, guys, make sure that you at least, I'd say, get 2, at best get 3. Now, samples can be really expensive. For my first product, the unit price, I think, initially, before any negotiation, was $5. And when I actually inquired about the sample cost, it was like $65, and I was absolutely shocked at this. And the main reason seems to be a lot of suppliers probably make a bit of money from samples. They'll get inundated with messages from potential Amazon sellers saying, can you get me a sample? Can you send me a sample? They'll order a sample and then the supplier will never hear anything of them again. So I think that some suppliers do take advantage of this and kind of provide quite a high sample price. But we're not going to stand for that. So I'm going to teach you some negotiation tactics to be able to get that sample price down. Another reason that the sample prices are quite high is because of postage costs. You know, if you're asking for a sample to be sent from China to the UK by Air Express, it's going to cost quite a lot. I think Air Express just for a small package can be $30 or $40. So when you've got that and coupled it with the actual unit sample price, it can sometimes be as much as $100. But don't worry, there are a number of things that we can say and do to be able to get that price right down, and in some cases, get it for free. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that the sample that you're getting is white label. You don't need to have your brand on it. You don't need to have customized packaging or anything like that. That's not the reason that we're getting the sample. The reason that we're getting the sample is we want to make sure it's high quality and durable, that it's as described, and that, you know, we get that real excitement when we open it, and it's, you know, it's a product that we think we can absolutely smash. So what we're not ordering our sample for is to check that our supplier is able to simply put our logo on the product. Just asking for that is going to result in the price being inflated by quite a high amount, because the supplier will probably have like a minimum order quantity to be able to do that. They'll probably factor that in. It'll just result in you paying way over the odds for a sample. So when you order the sample, make sure you say, I just want the white label version, don't want any logo or branding or anything like that putting on it. I just want it sending over in the cardboard box or the packaging or whatever it comes in, with no printing done. So that's the first way that you can lower the price. The second thing that you should ask for is you should say to the supplier, I'll pay the sample amount, but I would like the sample cost knocking off my final order amount. So let's say that you get the sample for $30. If your final order, if you order 100 units, comes to $1,000, then you only want to pay $970. And in my experience, from every single sample I've ordered, I've probably ordered about 6 or 7 different samples for my 2 different products. They've all said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So that means that if you do end up going with that supplier, you've effectively got the sample for free. Now remember, guys, as I mentioned earlier, some suppliers will try their luck and will probably try charging you a ridiculous price for the sample and for getting it shipped across to you. So what you want to do when you ask for a sample is you want to say, how much is it for the sample only, not including delivery? And that price should be in line with the unit price that they've quoted you. It shouldn't be any higher than that. If they're charging you a couple of dollars more, then fine, because you're not ordering it in bulk. But if they're charging you like 3, 4, 5 times even higher, then you know they're really chancing their luck, and that's where you need to push back. Now, one way that you can kind of judge this is, as I said, you need to be asking, you know, quite a few suppliers how much it costs for a sample. So when you're sending that initial email out to all the different suppliers on Alibaba, make sure you're asking how much it costs for a sample unit, and that's kind of the way that you can kind of judge whether the supplier that you're messaging is chancing their luck for the price of the sample. Now, the reason that I say you should only ask for the price of the sample is because I found a way that saves a huge amount. Not many people seem to know about it, but it's something that's really obvious, and it's an amazing service that's provided. So what you can do, I'll put the picture here, is you can find people on Fiverr that live in China, and they will basically collect all your samples for you. So what I did is I messaged a guy on Fiverr, and he provided me with his address, and I basically just got all the suppliers in China. Instead of asking them to send the product to the UK individually one by one, I got, you know, like 3 or 4 suppliers to send my sample to this guy in China, which cost like nothing. It was under $10 for 4 samples, and then this guy for me packaged it all up and sent it straight to me in the UK. And that parcel being sent over, I think it ended up costing maybe £50 or something. And to make it even cheaper, I also got a sample for my bundle product sent to him as well. So I ended up getting like 10 samples of my bundle product and my main product sent together, sent to the UK for £50 in total. If I'd have done that individually, it would have cost, you know, at least I'd say £100, probably 150, something like that. So when you're ordering your samples, make sure you ask for the sample price only, not delivery, and then use my tip of getting it sent to somebody in China and getting them to package them all together and sending it to you. So it'll probably take around 2 weeks for your samples to arrive, and when they do, you need to make sure you're doing a number of things. So first of all, you need to make sure that you actually feel excited when you open the product. If you open the product and you think, oh, that looks rubbish, or oh, that's not as expected, then, you know, you kind of need to think, what was the reason for that? Is it because of the supplier, or is it because of the product? Is the product not actually as good as you thought it would be? As I mentioned earlier, when I opened both my product 1 and my upcoming product 2, as soon as I opened the product, as soon as I opened the packaging, I was like, wow, this is even better than the picture. This is amazing. I can really see my brand working with this. I can really see it doing well on Amazon. So you need to make sure that that's the way you feel. Don't bother progressing with the product if you open it and you think that looks terrible. So linked to that, you also need to make sure that the product is described, that it functions as it's meant to be. So, you know, whatever it is, if it's say a fork, just as a basic example, you know, test it out, actually test it to see, does it work as intended? Is it durable? Is it high quality? These are all the kind of things that you need to be thinking about when you're using it. Is it actually a good product, and does it warrant the kind of price that you're looking to pay? So just with the fork example, if I received like a plastic fork and I was thinking, oh, this should have been metal, or, you know, I'm charging 20 quid for this, is someone really going to pay this? These are the kind of things that you need to be thinking about when you actually kind of determine whether you want to progress with this supplier and this product. So if you've ordered 2 or 3 different samples, what you also need to do when they arrive is you need to compare them. So don't always just assume that the highest priced sample will be the best, or that the lowest price sample will be the worst. You need to kind of compare them all, think which of these has got the probably highest quality, which seems the most durable, which of these are you happiest with. And if they're all slightly different, you can kind of look at the different features and kind of think, which of these do I think has the best features overall? And you can even ask friends and family and kind of think, out of all these 3 samples, which of these would you probably buy for the price point? You can also look at the samples and think, well, is there anything that can be improved or changed? Do you think the product would look better with a certain color? Or can it be, you know, like marginally adapted so that it looks better? Anything like that. So that's another really important thing to do with your sample. Think what can be done to make it even better. But the most important thing is, overall, when you get the sample, when you've opened it, when you've judged absolutely everything, you need to think, am I happy? Am I excited, and am I confident that this is going to be the product that makes me, really successful on Amazon and allows me to absolutely smash it? And if it is, then it's time to move on to the next stage of the process and to start negotiating with the supplier. And I'll save those tips for another video. So that's it for this week, guys. I hope you found a lot of value in this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to subscribe and give me a like. And if you've got any questions, you can post below or come and join me on Facebook with the Amazon FBA Smashers. See you for the next video.